psychology, and mathematics. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. What am I talking about when I'm talking about psychology and mathematics? Well, it comes from a paraphrase of a quote, which I think it came from Dan Kennedy, is where I originally heard it. I have reused it so many times that until I asked myself today where it came from, I'd forgotten that it came from Dan Kennedy. I'm pretty sure that's where I heard it. Because he was basically talking about marketing and how marketing is nothing more than mathematics and behavioral psychology. But really, all business is psychology and mathematics. It really is. Think about it. This came to me today because I was having a conversation with some entrepreneurs, and I was talking about that it really does all come back to numbers. And then we started going over some of our favorite books on another topic, and I said, all these books are really just to get you to do what you know you have to do, which is to get the numbers, get the numbers up. How do you get multiplication happening? How do you get addition and then multiplication? And if you get enough numbers, everything else takes care of itself. It's mathematics. It's the purest form of mathematics possible. That's what business is, mathematical. It's a very cut and dry thing. The only problem is you're dealing with people, which are predictably unpredictable. And so in that case, you have to bring in the behavioral psychology. First, it has to be done on you, right? You got to shrink your own head and figure out what's going on in there and what's holding you back, which you've probably done if you're a successful entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, or you're an executive of a larger company. You've already had to do that trick, or are constantly trying to re-trick yourself into doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. That's psychology. And a whole lot of things play into it. I'm not saying, an active faith doesn't play into it. I'm not saying that your diet doesn't play into it. Those are all part of it. But the whole thing is to get your brain to do what you need it to do and what you know it's possible. The second part is the mathematics, which always have to come into play. And they are completely amoral. Mathematics is money itself is mathematical. It's nothing but numbers, and it doesn't care whether you're good or bad or anything. It's a mathematical thing. It's add or subtract. It's in and out. That's all it is. All business can be broken down into the most basic mathematics. Then the other part of the psychology is, how do you get everyone else to do what you know they should be doing, which is buying your product or services? Now, if you fully believe in your product and services and you believe it's going to make a better life for them, it shouldn't be that difficult for you to go through that process of conveying that message. But you got to remember all these different issues that come along with that. You've got to figure out what conversation they're telling themselves, and you've got to enter that conversation through your marketing. And it has to be constant. It has to be before, it has to be during your relationship, and it has to be after they've already left. You've got to have a different plan for each. We've talked about the before, during, and after unit that Dean Jackson talks about. It's really important. But understanding just the two basic elements of all of your business, psychology, specifically behavioral psychology, and mathematics, so important. It's important to really keep these things in mind when you're going forward, because it'll keep you from overcomplicating things if you just realize, okay, all I really need to do is achieve these mathematical ends. And to do that, I got to have the right psychology, both for me and my potential customers and current customers and past customers. That's all it comes down to in its most basic form. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Hey, go check out my book, 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You can get your own free copy at amazonproofbook.com. I guarantee it'll be an addition to your life. If not, hey, I'll give you your money back. How about that? So send me a message and I'll send you a check. You have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.